Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. This is Altcoin Era and this is your boy Ahmed. And today we're going to go through the crypto markets. So let's begin. Has BTC actually topped? Some people believe we've topped and 70,000 US dollars is the absolute top and we're heading into a bear market, while others believe we're going far higher. Some people believe that we're going to get to 210,000 US dollars by the end of this bull cycle. We have a veteran called Peter Brent. He's been in the space for a while. He's a boomer. I like him. Peter Brent is a veteran trader and he sparked a debate with BTC. He's alluded that BTC has peaked and we've hit the top. And he's not 100% sure about it, but this has triggered a debate on this theory. So he's gone on to say that 70,000 US dollars might have marked the top. Of course, many other price models and predictors suggest BTC is still far from its cycle peak and could instead top at 210,000 US dollars this bull run. On April the 27th, the trader posted a theory suggesting BTC bull market cycle has exhibited an exponential decay pattern. But we all know BTC has an S curve. We all know this. The most gains that BTC saw was in the early days in 2013. It keeps diminishing, and we do know this theory is actually true. It's called diminishing returns. Now, every single cycle has diminishing returns. For example, you have this. So let me just zoom out for you. So in 2009 to 2011, we had 3,191x. 2011 to 2013, we had 572. 2015 to 2017, we had 122. And then we had 22. And then right now we have a 4.5x. People, for some reason, get very, very bearish around the all-time new highs, around resistance areas. People get very bearish and get very scared. It's just that we're testing the previous resistance. That's all we're doing from 2011 right here from 2021. We're retesting the resistance. We're going to really find out if we are actually in a confirmed bull run. So this is the part where people are getting scared, fearful, and they think we're heading back down, because we do have a long way down. But what if I told you we're going to head to 50k? If we're going to head to 40k? What about if I said we're going to head to 30k? BTC has already superseded our expectations. It's gone up faster and quicker than anyone had ever anticipated. This was a rip your face off rally. All of this, everyone was in disbelief. Everyone was in shock. This happened so soon, so quick in the cycle. BTC halving 2012. So on that day, the halving was on the 28th of November 2012. So we're going to see what BTC was doing during this time. So if I look for 2012, the 2012th of November BTC, we were just below the all-time new high. The all-time high was at approximately, at that time, it was at $16. So we were 25% away from the all-time high, 25%. So this is unprecedented. In 2024, it's unprecedented to see an all-time new high before the halving. So we're going to look at the next date. The next halving was the 9th of July 2016. The 9th of July 2016, it was right here, this red candle here. We were how far away from the all-time new high? From here all the way to here, we were 41%, 42%, let's round that up. So we were 42% away from the all-time high. So let's see and have another look at the next halving date, which I believe was May. I think it was in May the 11th. So right here, May the 11th. So it was on May the 11th. We were right here. That's June. This green candle right here. Let me just show you this red candle right here. 52% away from the all-time new high. And in this cycle, we've actually gone above and beyond the all-time new high. We've gone literally, this is the all-time new high. Let's just put the peak here. We're just floating. We actually superseded and went far and beyond everyone's expectation. We didn't think this was possible. I bet you bottom dollar, no one thought that this was going to happen. And you know what? The most unlikely thing happened in crypto. BTC made an all-time new high. None of the experts, none of the gurus, no one in the space anticipated this. I knew this was going to happen. I knew that this was going to happen. We were going to make an all-time new high because ETFs was such a bullish event. And we've been waiting for ETFs since 2017, maybe 2015. We've been waiting for ETFs. We finally have an ETF, and now everyone's bearish because the stock market looks like it's overheated. The article concludes and says Brent isn't fully convinced by this theory, assigning 25% probability that BTC has already peaked. Others argue that the alternative models also blew this theory out of the water. On April the 29th, CEO and Director of Research, he rebutted David and said we have only 3 data points. He also added this is hardly enough data to do a significant analysis. Finally, I'm going to conclude on this article, and the CEO of Akron Trading anticipates a potential market top of 180,000 US dollars. So inflation has reared its ugly head again. People were very optimistic and thought that inflation is just going to plummet and it's going to go all the way down to like 2% overnight. It didn't happen, and we're in this environment of a stagflationary environment. But to be honest, like all due respect, this is what the Fed actually wanted. This is what central bankers wanted. They wanted an environment where they could erode their debts away. And the masses are over leveraged to the eyeballs. So what's the best way of dealing with this? The best way of dealing with this is stagflation. This is what they wanted in the long term anyway. They wanted their debts to get eroded away. They don't want to pay back their debts. The UK debt to GDP is at 85%. France is at 95%. Germany is not as bad. It's at 72%. And this, bear in mind, is in 2019. Bear in mind, this was just before the pandemic. And we all know how that played out. Everyone was getting stimulus. Everyone was getting bailouts. Everyone was getting furlough. Everyone was getting free money. And this was just before the pandemic. This is the IMF fund. So everyone knows about this Ponzi scheme. It's called the International Monetary Fund. Now, if I just zoom in and I go to the UK, it says 101. Yeah. If I go to France, 111. If I go to Germany, 66. Poland, 46. Now, if I go to Japan is at 261. 261, ladies and gentlemen. And China is amongst the lowest. China is at 67%. America is at 121. Canada is 117. More and more countries are borrowing money and they can't even pay off this money. So what do central bankers do? They try to erode the debt using stagflation. They want a higher inflation rate. So that means the debt can be eroded away. It can be eroded away quicker and faster. So stagflation isn't the end of the world. People are scared and fearful for what reason when this was always part of the plan? I've got some good news for you. Ethereum. Ethereum fees are at the lowest it's ever been. 6-month low. But what I really want to show you is what happens next. The black line is the price of Ethereum, and the blue line is the transaction fees, how much it cost, what was the average and the mean of the transaction fees. So whenever you use Ethereum, you have to use Ether as a fee. So to do anything in Ethereum, you have to pay for a fee, a small fee. It's a smart contract fee. And these prices change and fluctuate. Sometimes they go up to $200. Sometimes they go as little as 50 cents, depending on a bull or a bear market. And if we just look right now, right at the end, I'm going to zoom in. It's the lowest we've been for the past 6 months. We're at currently right now $2.92, which means this, and this was 6 months ago in October 2023, around this time. It was the lowest fees that we saw. So it was around $1.45. The point is this: normally, whenever we see this kind of behavior, there is a bounce. There's a bounce on chain, there's a bounce on Ethereum, because look at this. The last time it was at $1.45. We had a massive pump from the price was at that time 1,564, and we went all the way up to 3,880 US dollars. And ironically, that was the peak of the Ethereum fees. So that was a great time to sell. So the point I'm trying to make is this: I think we're going to get a altcoin summer. I think BTC is going to have a summer lull, and I think Ethereum, the daddy of altcoins, is going to outperform BTC. Not only that, I think we're going to have an altcoin summer. Not altcoin season. We're not there yet, but we're going to have an altcoin summer. This man didn't deserve this kind of punishment. And what is ironic is bankers can get away with almost anything, but people like CZ from China, he's not even an American citizen, and he's still getting charged for such crimes as little and as benign as this. So it's a shame, and this shouldn't be the case. Crypto watch list for the week ahead. Ethereum is finally starting to see some strength. Ethereum beta plays should do well if this continues. Now remember, if Ethereum does well, the whole altcoin market does well. If Ethereum does really well, then Ether beta plays do really, really well. Coin will release Q1 earnings on May the 2nd. An increase in earnings will likely push the price of coin up. Coin is doing very, very well. It's currently at $227. We had a massive V-shaped recovery. Look at this. This is really, really bullish, like a massive V-shaped recovery. I remember the time when it was around here, all here. I remember 65, 67, 50. This looks very, very bullish. And I remember some people were buying at these kind of levels, and they watched their investment go down 91%. That's very difficult to stomach. But they've recovered, and we're heading up higher and further. Once we break this target, we're in price discovery, ladies and gentlemen. Theta Network is launching Edge Cloud on May the 1st. Edge Cloud is a hybrid cloud computing platform. I've got a bone to pick with Theta. I invested in Theta in the previous bull market, and it's a funny tale. I invested in this project, and I watched my coins go from like $2,000 to about 30,000 US dollars, and I was unable to take the coins out of the website. As a result, I tried my best to take the coins out. And long story short, I transferred some of the coins. I had multiple different wallets, and by accident, I transferred some coins to their website. And I found out on a later stage that you can only deposit your coins on that website. You can't withdraw. So long story short, I was trying my best to get hold of the coins, and a few years down the line, I went back onto the website and I couldn't find any of the coins. Not your keys, not your crypto. Number 5 for the week ahead is the FOMC meeting. It's happening on Wednesday. It's going to be a very, very important day. Number 6 is DYDX. They keep doing this. It's an unlock, and 70 million worth of tokens, 10.7% of the supply is going to be unlocked on May the 1st, which is not bullish. It's going to be bearish, and the price is going to tank just for the short term. Number 7 is Ren's protocol. They're going to do an airdrop, and that looks bullish. And finally, we have Camino. Camino is a Solana lending money platform, and it's going to be released on April the 30th. The top gainers in the top 100, number one is Helium, and it's up 30% in the last 24 hours. Number two is Wormhole, and it's up 14%. And number three is Psy, and it's up 6.26%. Helium had a nice bounce. To be fair, in the past 4 days, we've gone up 71% from wick to wick. The top gainers in the top 500, number one is ADF, and it's up 38%. Number two is Helium, and it's up 29%. And number three is Stride, and it's up 25%. And the top gainers in the entire space, number one is Guard, and it's up 238%. Number two is Getter, and it's up 177%. And number three is NASA, and it's up 170%. BTC price targets currently at 63,060 cents. It's down 0.09%. There's literally no movement today. It's just moving sideways. All of this is sideways action at the moment. All of this is just sideways action. So it's a bit boring. Volatility at the moment is at 2.62%. If I zoom in and get a better look, we're stagnating at the moment and we're just moving sideways. Volatility needs to come back into the market. Everyone is waiting for the FOMC meeting, which is going to be very, very interesting. If Papa Powell is dovish, then I believe we're going to head up higher. If he is hawkish, then we're going to go back down, retest this, and there's going to be a lot of volatility while he's speaking. Ethereum price targets currently at $3,186, and we're down 2.38%. We made a bounce on this resistance, on this support at $3,010. We're heading up to this resistance at $3,531. We've hit this resistance multiple times, but we haven't held above this resistance. The first time we broke past this resistance, we came back to retest it as support, and unfortunately we couldn't hold it as support. We've done it multiple times and we couldn't hold it. Again and again we couldn't hold it. So now we're going to go back. Hopefully this time is going to be the fourth time, and hopefully we hold it as support. The FOMC meeting is coming out. Ethereum also has some bearish traction to it, which is the SEC. At the moment, the SEC has considered Ethereum as a security. The SEC and Gary Gensler believe Ethereum was a security for at least a year. So this is ridiculous. Like the SEC and Gary Gensler, 1 minute they call it a security, the next minute it's not a security, it's a commodity. Like they pick and choose whenever they like. Like whenever they want, they pick and choose. They call this a security, yeah, it's not a security. So this is Gary before he joined the SEC. He was an advocate of blockchain technology. He was an advocate in cryptocurrency, and along the way, he got corrupted. And this is him teaching people about crypto. And this is him in 2017-18 period. He's at MIT and he's teaching students how to use and how to understand cryptocurrencies. And now he's calling Ethereum a security. Kind of ironic, isn't it? ADA price targets currently at 45 cents, and we're down 0.96%. Nothing much happening in crypto today. It's fairly quiet and it's fairly slow today. Volatility has gone down. Bitcoin's not really moving, and none of the alts are really moving in the top 100, apart from Helium, of course. And most of these alts are not really moving. So hopefully we make a double bottom. We hit this target at 40 cents. If it doesn't hold, then unfortunately we're going to head back down to 30 cents. And finally, we have BVM. BVM looks very, very promising and has great potential. Bear in mind, it's only been out for literally 2 months. It's been 2 months, so there is a lot of hype at the moment, and we need prices to stabilize. and right now it looks like we might have hit a bottom. I'm going to keep an eye on this. We have formed a hammer candle. This is the hammer candle and the hammer trigger. So what I'm trying to look for is a green candle on the next day. If that is shown and I see this, then it might possibly be a reversal. So if I go back here, I need to see a green candle and then we can reverse with an increase of volume. If that's not the case, then I believe that we could do something similar to this. This is Arbitrum on the right hand and this is BVM. The pattern looks quite similar. When they first initially came out, had a massive pump, therefore had a drawdown. The drawdown was epic for Arbitrum. We went down from here, from the all-time high, we went down 50%. So possibly could see something like this where we go down 50%. It's already gone down. Arbitrum is on my right hand and BVM is on my left hand. They look very similar. Initially we started off with a pump. Arbitrum initially started off with a massive pump and then followed with a drawdown. BVM could show something similar. Also RSI looks very similar to BVM. BVM is a layer 2. Arbitrum is a layer 2 on Ethereum, and this looks very similar, and I think we're going to head back down, head back lower, and Arbitrum went down from its initial couple of weeks. First couple of weeks it went down a whopping 58%. So BVM is going to do something similar to Arbitrum in my personal opinion. What I'm looking for is a double bottom right here. What I'm looking for is something similar to this as well. I'm looking for a double bottom. I'm going to do a separate video just on BVM. I'm going to talk about the pros, the cons, and I'm going to do a deep dive on BVM. So stay tuned. That's it for now, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and wherever you are, good morning, good evening, good night. Peace.